Yeah, we did have a blast. From what I remember, we had a really good
I
time.
remember everything vividly, and it was amazing.
What was your favorite part that you can remember?
Definitely the Regal party at
that was awesome.
At the Meow Wolf or whatever that was.
Yeah.
That was
I always wanted to go to
cool.
one of those. So I'm glad I got to do
super
that.
Cool.
Super cool. Super cool. All right. Let's get rolling on this one.
Yeah.
This is going to be a lot of fun. New friend of the program.
New friend of the group. We're super excited.
Yep. Andy, if you would, real quick, just give us your name, who you're with, and what you do.
Sure. Thanks for having me. I'm Andy Ives with Langen Engineering. I'm one of the principals there. Help oversee our 125-person land surveying group. Langen's a 2,200-person consulting engineering firm, so we do anything ground and down. And Russ Hall's with us too from Langen, and he invited me to the program. It's great.
That is awesome, Russ.
Hey,
tell us who you are,
Russ.
Tell us who you are.
I am Russ from Langen Engineering and the Geoholics.
Yeah, everybody knows Russ. Right?
Everybody knows Russ.
Russ. For sure. So talk about how, tell us a little bit more about Langen in general and how the survey component is integrated into the other disciplines.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah. So we are, fully integrated. So we try to do the one-stop shop for our clients. So that way, something might come in for the site civil group, but that client wants to have one point of contact for environmental, geotech, survey, traffic, hazardous building materials. So when we get in those requests, we put in together one proposal and we get that out to the client, and that way they're just talking to that one person, but we're working as a team behind the scenes within Langen. It doesn't matter what office we're in. We have offices up and down the East Coast, down through Florida, Texas. We're starting to fill in some spaces in the Midwest and also out in California. And we do a really good job of even sharing staff across those areas, so we can make sure that even if we have a national client, they're getting the same product. It doesn't matter if it's in Connecticut or Boston or out in our San Francisco office. So we try to make sure we're well integrated together.
Nice. And on that note, like what do you see as the biggest strategic value this survey provides for your internal clients and external clients, I guess?
Oh, absolutely. It's so we're part of the discussion right from the beginning. So we can find out, is this a complete demo site where they're going to put up a new building? Well, we don't need to get as much detail in the middle of the site, but we're going to make sure we have a lot of detail on our touchdowns. And, the roadway stuff is extremely, extremely important. Whereas being part of the conversation in the beginning, if it's going to be an addition for a library or a school, we're going to get a lot of detail on the facades of those buildings and make sure we understand what that design is going to entail. Where we have to tie into our utilities. Those conversations happen on a daily basis within our office. So it makes it so much easier for the end client, which is usually going to be our civil group or environmental group. They have the data they need to be able to do the design they need for our client. So it makes it smooth.
Yeah.
We got to add to that, Russ.
Yeah, Russ.
I would like to add about Langen, at least in the survey department, do a really good job of, if someone's passionate about something or they want to do something different in their career path, like let's say they want to scan or something, I feel like we do a good job of putting those people in the position of something they want to do and also to succeed at it.
Right. We're not rigid in exactly what we do. I mean, there's obviously we have to do boundary and topo. We have to do, we do scanning. But if there's somebody that's passionate about something, we're very entrepreneurial in nature. When Russ and I actually started at Langen in 2012, we didn't do a lot of construction stakeout, but Russ and I had a lot of experience in that. And now we do a tremendous amount of stakeout in the Northeast because it's something we were able to bring to the table.
Sure.
It made business sense. Nobody told us no, as long as you can, you got to make a dollar or two doing it. But we were passionate about it. And, 14 years later, we do a tremendous amount of stakeout in the Northeast.
Yeah.
You guys get involved with some pretty cool projects too, from my experience. Like, talk about some of the cool projects you're working on now. Like, what's something noteworthy that you can think of that you guys are on now?
So one of the problems is that we're primarily private sector, so it's hard to talk about a lot of jobs. For at least on the reality capture side, we did a 4,000-mile collection for an energy company so they could clear the trees.
Oh, okay.
4,000?
Yeah, it was
1,000
in like 2 months with one scanner.
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
Holy crap.
But it gives them better data. I think Pointera kind of did a presentation on it, a similar thing earlier at GeoWeek. But it gives them a much better detail about the branches that could be affecting the lines. Bless you.
Thank you.
So that one was really cool. And then is there anything from terrestrial that Sean's got cooking that you can talk about?
Yeah, so and again, we'll try to stay relatively generic, but there's a company in Eastern New York that's doing a whole new campus. So we're doing all the scanning for the steel as it goes up, so they can make sure as true as built. So that way, whenever they're putting in the space, they can make sure everything fits. So that's a 2.5-year project. That's really cool. The data centers and renewables are still pretty hot in the Northeast and northern, even the central part of the country. But data centers, Texas, here in Colorado, Wyoming, also Virginia are large, and they just want those projects done as quickly as possible. So we try to do as much data fusion as we can, where we're approaching the boundary with a more traditional survey, but we get Russ and the team with the reality capture team in there. So we're scanning it with the TRK and the roadways. We're flying it with one of our drones, and then we're also filling in a lot of space with maybe a BLK to go or something like that, and just trying to bring all this data together as quickly as possible. And that helps spread some of the workload around too. So we have a team that does extraction. They can be working on that while a couple of surveyors are working on the boundary plan, and it's because they want everything done. You think you could do things in a month and a half, they want it done in 3 weeks, that kind of stuff. It's a fascinating.
And talk about a little bit more on the deliverable for the client. Like what are they getting from all of this, boundary and scanning? So
a lot of times it's your basic map. Sometimes, right? Just because it's got to be part of the plan set, whether it's for local permitting, anything like that. But we can't stray away from that too much. It still has to be a PDF map deliverable, an Alta survey probably. But on top of that, we have many clients that are actually requesting for LiDAR point clouds. And then also imagery. Viewers are huge right now. So you're really running the gauntlet of really maximizing that technology and trying to deliver something that's cutting edge to your client, but they still need that basic signed and sealed survey, right? You got to be able to put it all together to get them what they need throughout the project.
Yeah, well said. It's almost like consulting firms are becoming like data management companies.
Starting to, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes. We have many calls about data management throughout the year.
Because it's not just how it's we have a lot of data to manage, but as more and more clients are having requirements of what your IT group does and certain certifications that you guys need ISOs, it's really regulating how we can store that data. There's easier ways to skin that cat, but we have to make sure that we're staying compliant, because that, we're required to have that compliance for a lot of our contracts throughout the company. So it's not just in survey. If we do work we do embassy work, international stuff, we have to have, we have to adhere to the needs for that project, even on a 4,000 mile collection for a power company, even though it has nothing to do with them, we still have to comply to that. So it's complicated, and Russ and John Seward, our group, are constantly trying to figure out how can we store data and stay compliant with all these regulations.
But keep the same without adding more friction points to it, right?
But keep the same accessibility.
Yes.
Yep. I like that.
And it seems like that's something that a lot of firms are dealing with now. Is just, I think that's the next step. Is you get all this data, it's all available, but now we need to think about security and how we do it.
And the computers that we're processing it with, what is that interconnected to? Is there anybody that could access that data? I mean, one of Russ's best jokes, he's like, I could just go to Best Buy and buy the computer that I need to process this data, but none of that complies with anything we're doing. So
I say that when I'm frustrated.
He's like, I'm just going to go buy a computer. So that is definitely, you have to maintain that. You have to keep a lot of people on your team in the know of what we're doing and how we're doing it, so they can try to come up with a solution for the data processing and data management.
Yeah, it's just funny. Like you can't really talk about the project, but then behind the scenes, a couple clicks away, you can have every detail you possibly can imagine about what's going on.
Especially some of our more sensitive clients. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Really big deal. And that's why not having cloud hosted data is very, very important. And for some of our clients.
They will not allow some of the other scanners, it goes to a website and then they do the registration or whatever. They will not allow that at some of these other companies.
Because where we start to get into critical infrastructure, right?
Yes. Giving away, like someone else is holding on to their everything.
Oh yeah.
There's so many pluses and minuses. Like for every time there's a plus, there's going to be a minus to it. So you have to you have to, sum up all your pluses on one side and sum up your minuses on the other, and which process is going to work, get you more pluses.
Yeah. So you mentioned you do primarily private work.
Yes.
Right. So how do you guys, super competitive market, obviously. How do you guys differentiate yourselves from others that, are like Lincoln?
And the
Well,
survey-
nobody's like Lincoln. I mean, come on. You just talked
Well,
about how
others-
unique they are.
Others that try to be Lincoln. How's that?
The unique things we do it's definitely going to be client satisfaction and being responsive. Client responsiveness is huge. I mean, now that seems so basic, but
It's true.
especially in the world of survey.
Yep.
You know how many jobs we get because the surveyor hasn't called a client back for 2 weeks.
Right. It's crazy.
Because it's a survey they've already done.
Yep.
So being responsive is one thing, but the way we can bring a lot of our data together to, like I was saying with the data fusion, to bring one product together is seamless for the end user, but we brought it together with 4, 5, 6 different tools. And on top of that, we cross-train our staff. So you can have one survey crew go out there and they're going to fly it. And if we need a scanner out there, they're going to scan it. They know how to use the TRK, things like that. So we're not bringing 6 crews out to a job. Maybe we're bringing 3 people that they can all do that. And that takes time to get that in there. But that allows us to stay very competitive too on our pricing, because it is absolutely about cost. It's cost and relationships in the private world.
So I would just to add to that, because we're private sector, our evolution was a little different with reality capture. So we don't necessarily chase a DOT mobile scan job or a DOT UAV job. We're like, okay, we have all these scanners. How can we do it more efficiently for just a traditional survey using the technology? And it also lets all the staff get exposed to it, so it keeps them engaged. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not so segmented. And the last thing I wanted to mention was, especially Andy, myself, Sean. There's a few of us. We go out in the field still, and we like touch the equipment.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, my voice. We touch the equipment. We still impart knowledge on staff when they're technically challenging jobs.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, where you don't see a lot of companies, the senior leadership still go in the field.
Very true.
Here and there.
I get yelled at for wearing orange shirts at work.
He does.
Like, I was out on a job site this morning. People will be like, "What are you doing out on job sites?" I'm like, "Cause it's my happy place.
Yeah.
I'll go out and do construction stakeout every day of the week, especially steel stuff that gets a little more complicated. But it's a good way to stay in touch with the equipment we're using, and it also is a greght way to just have great relationships with your staff too. Which is
no question.
Because we can't do any of this stuff without a good team.
No doubt.
And you have to keep that culture up, and having folks like Russ and myself out there doing the work. We're grinding on a Saturday with these guys sometimes, and it's like, you know what?
Oh, it goes so
part
far.
of it.
Yeah.
It's
It
huge.
does.
Yeah.
It's easy to, in my experience, to respect and follow someone that is willing to
Does the
do the
work.
same thing that you're asking them to do.
Sure.
Well, you got to
You know,
remember
yeah.
where the bread is buttered, Like,
And
I mean, you guys are great, but you're not generating the revenue that your field staff are, right?
No. That's why it's not like we're going out every day.
Yeah.
He would if he could.
I would absolutely. I would have. But you know what? When we're speaking with our vendors, it makes it our message and what we're asking for, or the feedback we have on whatever they are selling and we're using is genuine, because we're the ones using the equipment. We're still doing it.
Yeah. And speaking of the equipment, like you guys have spent a lot of money on various digital solutions, right? What does the decision making process look like when you guys get a job, or even when you're proposing on a job, to determine which tool to use?
That's
Is it just like what's the funnest one? Like
No. First we start by how can we do it most efficiently, but then it's not just how can we do it most efficiently. It's what do we actually have the ability to get done? Because a lot of everything in survey, it's got to be done in the next 3 to 6 weeks, or 2 to 6 weeks, or now, and or yesterday. So you have to look at, can we deploy certain pieces of technology, and do we have enough staff to do it? Do we have staff in that location? Does the staff in that location need some work? We might do something a little more traditional. But if usually it's coming in, we just don't have the staff, or I hate the term human capital, but we just don't have that. And so we have to start to go with technology, the technology capital, how we can do that. So, it's a combination of what's available, who's available, and what's the most efficient way to do it. But generally for pricing, we're looking at what's the most efficient way to do it first.
right. And if all things are equal, right, we work it back from accuracy with the design intent. like
Yeah.
Andy brought it before. So
Yeah.
it's a solar site. You know,
Like end user, what they're
end
going to be
user,
using
yeah.
it for.
So
Yeah.
we're talking like, you know, is it, you know, 600-700 absolute, or is it a quarter inch? That and we work it backwards from there.
Yeah.
And then but to figure out for us to understand which tool and how efficient they were, that cost a lot of trial and error and iterating, and that was years.
We've
to
learned
get to where we got.
We've learned a lot of lessons
Yes.
along the way. There
What-
have been many failures.
When they say experience doesn't cost anything, but it's very expensive.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Well, and to that note, like, how much are you still having to educate your clients on what tool or like what they need, and
All the time,
you know what they ask for, and then what they actually are asking for.
Yes, because a lot of times it's somebody that maybe doesn't always know what that end deliverable is going to be, but they've had a checklist from something.
Yeah.
One of the jokes I have is I feel like the folks in the renewable industry, they must have used to work for Lowe's and Walmart back in the day in the pre 2008, because it's the same survey checklist. I'm like, you don't need something this accurate for a solar field. Like, let's work on this, right? You don't need the Mercedes-Benz of Alta surveys for a renewable job in the middle of a cow pasture in upstate New York.
Are they just checking every box?
Yes, let's
Oh my
just bring
God.
it down. It's education of your clients, which is a service to them too. So that, hey, this is going to save you a lot of money because you don't have to. You don't need the Mercedes-Benz. We're okay with the Chevy Malibu.
Sure.
Yep.
We're going to be good.
Yeah.
So it's the education and but not, you have to approach it delicately, because you don't want to make them feel silly, right?
Yeah.
So
exactly.
it's usually, if you go into it with the money conversation, that's a great way to start, because then their ears automatically perk up when they hear that. So,
Well, it's like it's the money and the accuracy of what you're delivering and what they're actually getting, right?
right. And also, you have to sometimes educate them about the product that they've been getting in the past that they think is really good, and it's just not.
Right.
Well, especially in this industry, 10 years ago is a lifetime of what, if they're still using the same specs 10 years ago. That is,
I'm like, publicly available LiDAR in some of these areas that's plus or minus 10 feet probably is not the best thing to be doing design off of. I get it for due diligence or some conceptual stuff, but at some point you got to get it, some
but then millimeter on a 500-acre site is also a little much too.
Much,
Where you see it still a lot is the terrestrial scans of buildings. Like, it'll be some municipality or something, and they'll be like, "We want LOD 400." I'm like, you want that until you see the price. Like, there's no way you're going to afford it.
And the time it's going to take.
Yeah, so it's like, but they go to a conference and they see all the stuff, but no one explains like the cost.
Yeah.
And then what's the ROI on having like
Exactly.
light switches modeled? Like,
Yeah.
do you actually need that? You know what I mean? So.
And also, sometimes it's not like they'll get latched onto something like an LOD. It's a level of deliverable, right? But they aren't looking at anything about accuracy.
Yeah,
I'm
LOA.
like, I'm like, what's your actual level of accuracy? And it's just like crickets. So you have to politely educate them, bring them up to speed, and then on top of that, recommend what you would think the best course of action is. And usually that's where we end up, and figuring out how we can get into the right price and the right schedule. But it's a conversation, and that's where that responsiveness is really important.
Yeah.
When they have questions, you need to be there to answer, even if it's at night, or I'm on the phone at 5 a.m. with contractors every darn day. And it's just, it's part of it. Because guess what? That's when they're available.
Sure.
So you need to be available.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's the first thing they start with. First thing is, okay, where are we building this today? And they're like, oh no, this is not the right spot. And then Andy gets a call.
Yep. Exactly. Or hey, can you get a crew here today? Well, no, hold on. You got to give me like a day's notice.
Yeah. Or are you usually, do you have the typical on a site where 3 times that something's wrong, and you prove yourself that it's not the surveyor doing it wrong?
Yep.
And then finally they stop automatically blaming you
at
first. You have to go there and defend yourself,
Yeah. Managing expectations, right?
Yeah,
that's what it's all about.
Yep.
So what's your opinion when it comes to like skills the next generation of surveyors need to possess to be successful at a firm like Langen?
That's a great question. And I communication skills are always our top. It's even for your field staff today. Everybody is either you're texting, you're emailing. There's a lot more communication that goes on in the course of a day than did 20 years ago when we had cell phones in bags.
Nextels.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So being able to effectively communicate what's going on a site or the question you have is really important. And then also, strong work ethic is always helpful, but just wanting to solve that riddle if you're naturally just trying to figure out, because a lot of what we have, like Russ was talking about, these are just riddles. How can we get, the mobile mapping data to work with a SLAM scanner, with the drone data? How do we get that all to piece together?
Yeah.
And if you have staff that want to solve those riddles and have the knowledge base and want to learn more, that's great.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Well said.
Passionate and hardworking.
Yep.
That's why it's like the raw materials, and then you can shape that
Right.
into whatever.
Yeah.
And especially
Raw materials. I like that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
in our industry too, a lot of people, kids are coming out of high school or 2-year community colleges, and surveying's a great career. I mean, we've all of us at this table have made a great career in the surveying industry, and you can always go back and get more education later. I mean, heck, I went to UMaine. I started at 40 years old, and I graduated at 44 to get my bachelor's degree, because I only had a 2-year degree from a community college. But surveying was a great career, and then I needed to get to that next level and have a little bit more education. You can do that later in life. There's that opportunity. So you don't want to harp on education. I always, because that excludes some really, really great workers that are passionate people that just need a little bit of focus maybe in their early 20s, and then they realize this is something we want to do.
Yeah.
And then you can get more education, especially now everything's online. It's great. Yeah. And then you can pursue that passion even more, and away you go.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
We definitely, collectively as a group, need to solve the problem of getting more young people into surveying. Like, we've seen this coming for 20 years.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's upon us.
Yeah.
And I think we're doing a good job of talking about it. And now now we actually have to pull in kids and actually do it.
I think maybe it's just human nature, but surveyors in particular, like, they don't really react until it's an emergency.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like
You're a procrastinating bunch.
a day late and $1 short. Yeah. No, so
That's awesome.
I know, like, a lot of the state societies, again, we talk about this with our survey leadership, because we're across the country, and we try to stay active in whether community colleges, 4-year schools, but also tech schools, or we've even started to talk to guidance counselors.
Yes, I've said that forever.
Just say the word surveyor to some kids instead of always going to engineering. Or
I think that's a key group that we need to really focus on. Actually,
great.
Yeah, definitely.
Because this is a great option for kids where maybe college isn't the right choice right off the bat.
Right.
Hey, let's get out there. You get your hands dirty. You get out working with the field crew.
Make some good money.
Go to community college, taking some CAD classes, and just work your way into it.
Yep.
That's what a lot of us have done.
Yeah.
But
No doubt.
it's that messaging has to be there in high school, not just college. So that's where
We can't rely on people to fall out of their first career and fall into this. That's not a sustainable model.
Right.
No, not at all.
Although it's what most of us
It's
have probably but it's not a reliable model. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. What else? What else you guys got before we let you go?
Not much.
What about this week? What's your takebacks from the show this week at GeoWeek?
GeoWeek's been great. I know. It's so walking around with one Russell Hall is like walking around with a celebrity.
Yeah,
everybody and their brothers grabbing them, saying, "Oh, hey, Russ, how you doing?" So no, it's
and it's Russ from the Geoholics, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's gonna have it tattooed on his arm, I think.
I told Ken I'd do it. Ken has one.
But yeah, no, it's been excellent. Connecting with a lot of our existing vendors, looking for possible new ones, new solutions, and one of the best things is it just opens your eyes to. There's just so much stuff here, and you're just trying to think, what's the next thing we could do, or how could we use that piece of technology on this job? Last night, Russ and I were just walking around, and we were just talking about things we could use for jobs we have right now that we could try to maybe make it to some sort of a business model. It's great. So I highly recommend anybody, if you have the opportunity to come out to something like GeoWeek, especially younger professionals, if it's something that's relatively local to you, even within a couple-hour drive, well worth the experience of coming here for a day or two.
Very well said. Plus all the classes on top of it.
Yes.
ASBRS classes and everything.
Yeah.
But and the networking too, like to develop contacts in case you wanted to change careers or something, or
you never know. You might end up on a podcast.
You never know.
Podcast.
Right? Stranger things have happened.
And I'm pretty sure you can fall into a job in this room, right?
Yes. I'm pretty sure if you were looking for a job in surveying, there's 70 people that would hire you on the spot.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you were wearing like flannel and an orange shirt underneath, be like, "Yep, let's go."
This guy knows what he's doing.
Oh my, it's so funny.
Good stuff.
So true, though. Well, guys, thank you. You're awesome.
Thank you.
Again, thank you for
thanks for having us.
your support of the show as well. Look
Absolutely.
forward to working with you guys this year, and safe travels.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
appreciate it, guys.
Likewise.
Awesome.
Are we off?
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Dude, that was fun.
Thank you
I
very
thought
much.
it was
That was
pretty
fun,
good, no?
Yep. Good stuff.
Yeah. Thank you very
natural.
much. A little nervous
was
at
good.
first, and then I started talking better.
No, you did great.
That's what I told when he was asking. I'm like, dude, Ken will just drive
Yeah, no,
it.
you guys
Don't
do a
worry
great
about
job.
it.
And
Get Sean.
This is great for the industry too, man. You know,
It really
you guys
is.
make it fun. I'll tell you, when you had Gordo on,
Oh yeah.
I talked to him a few weeks ago after, and he's like, I had so much fun, and he was telling his kids about, or his stepkids
I think
about
Gordo
it.
invested 2 hours into like several people on phone
Oh
calls
yeah,
after
he was
that.
like, I had so much fun, and this and that, and all this
He
stuff.
sent us like probably 4 emails. after.
Yes.
It's like,
Hey, did you see? You were supposed to come here and give us the bags and shit.
hold on. I got it.
Oh, you did see him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know how he got all into that sewing shit from his sailing?
Yeah.
Yeah. He sent me
Oh,
pictures.
he's making like rope bags. And
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah, with that
Okay.
duck material.
Yeah. Russ has got a.
So it's like out of old sales, right?
Is that it?
That's it. Yeah.
The tote?
You can take that one if you want.
Sure, if you don't mind.
Here's a bag if you want to try to fold it up.
No, I'm gonna throw all the swag. I'm gonna walk around and grab.
Oh, that's awesome. That's very cool.
Wow. Yeah, he's like going into business, doing this, like starting a business.
Because he's got to keep himself occupied. Is
Yeah.
he back to working full time? I think he was pretty close.
I don't
to
think so.
Like, he had a massive party.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's when all that shit happened, where they like forced the other scanner in when he was having a heart attack.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh.
he got some backstory. But yeah.
Yeah.
It's yeah, he had like quadruple bypass surgery or something.
No
It was
kidding.
scary.
Yeah.
And then he went down to part time for a bit. But I think he's back up and running. He's back sailing, obviously.
Yeah. He's a good guy.
No, he is.
Great guy.
Really enjoyed talking.
And he has very special niche that not a lot of people have. With the rail, you know.
And for like an older guy,
Yeah.
he's so dialed into technology. It's crazy.
Yes, I know. Like he
You
just told shit. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah, right on. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you so
Yeah.
much.
I have a 12:30 lunch.
I know.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Yeah.
Pleasure meeting you
Yeah,
guys.
Andy, absolutely.
Glad we
Yeah.
could work it out to be friends of the show.
Yep.
Support what you guys are doing and
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I'll catch back up with you later on.
Yes.
I just got to be wrong.
Okay.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yep, see ya.
I was gonna film some small things with friends of the program. You want me to do that?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you 100% sure going to ASPRS?
That's what I was gonna ask you
Yeah.
about. So, what's what? April 10th?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I
Yeah,
can go.
you're in. Okay.
Yeah.
Because Sean's not going to go.
Yeah.
So it'll be me and you then
Yeah.
doing any interviews or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
Awesome.
we'll whatever, take care of your hotel or whatever.
Yeah, sure. Whatever. Yeah. I'm excited. I've never been to Louisiana, and I'm excited
I
that it's
haven't
not New Orleans. either.
Yes.
'Cause I
But
heard
it's only like an hour away from New Orleans. So I'm going to stay in New Orleans Friday and Saturday, and then come back to Arizona on Sunday.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
You taking your wife or by yourself?
The wife and I are separated at the moment.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
At the moment.
Oh, all right. We'll catch up after, right?
How are you?
Good. How are you?
See you.
Famous
It's
person.
lovely to
you.
see you. Thank you for having us.
Buddy?
Lovely to see you.
Hi, good to see you too.
Yes. It feels like it
Green
just blinked and we're back
I
together.
know, right?
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
I honestly
Hey,
can't believe how fast
Sean.
time's gone.
Nice to
What's
meet
that?
you.
Can't believe how fast it's
Oh,
gone.
gosh.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
scary, right?
It is.
I remember, yeah. Good to see you again.
Yeah, you as well. Yep. No, you're hopping on. You guys are both in, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right on. Awesome.
No, you made us look
I
so
remember
good last time. How
I
could
think
you
your
not?
booth was like next to the Geoholics booth, right? Yeah.
Oh, last year. Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, because we had the dummy.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Put our underwear on.
Yeah, we put
Yeah.
underwear on
Yes, that's
the.
right.
Hold on one.
No, there's no
So
rush.
what
You
do we
take your
put
time.
the
That was funny. I forgot all about that.
Oh, I know.
All right, I'm gonna get out of your hair for a little bit.
All right, man.
Sounds good.
See you, man. Yep. So what do we want to focus on?
Yeah.
Talking
sure,
about?
sit down right here.
That's a question for Mr. Sam.
Sam.
Sam. Mr. Sam, may
Pop
I?
these guys on.
What would you like us to focus
What do you want us to focus on? Are we talking about Geo Plus or
Well,
what's the connection here?
we signed a major team plus Plus, and they have 2,500 people on their platform, and they're doing e-learning. So we can talk a bit about this, and she's
Yeah.
and the collaboration.
Coming through our GIS.
So are you guys involved with them somehow?
Yeah. Our courses or unpublished courses or
Oh, so I didn't know you guys were making like content and courses and stuff like that. So now that's going to be on their platform. Oh, okay. Okay.
So, yeah, perfect.
Are we just podcast today? No video?
No, it's over
Video.
there.
Okay, I was wondering. I was like,
Yep.
yeah.
Oh, we're good. We're good.
I was like, do I need to fix my hair? I guess I do.
Hold on one second. What's your